graphs and the spread of scores. So let's look at this data set. What features can we see here? First of all, 1 and 5 appear to have no data, so those are known as gaps. The highest point here would be known as a peak. This group here and this group here are known as clusters, and some people might even consider the single value over here to be a cluster as well. Now let's look at this data set. We can see gaps, obviously. This is a more dense region because we have more data over here, and this is a less dense region because there's less data here than there is over here. Now let's look at this data set. This is known as dispersed because the data is stretched over a large range of values. Well, not that large here, but it's dispersed compared to this data set, which is tightly packed. All of the data is just over 3 data values. If we look at this distribution here, most of the data is over here. And then we've got this one value after a long gap. This is an outlier. It's a piece of data that doesn't fit with the bulk of the data. If we look at this, there's 2 data items on every single possible value. This is known as a uniform distribution. And you might describe a distribution as being uniform even if they aren't exactly the same height, just that there isn't a situation where you have large peaks and so on. If it's reasonably spread out and reasonably the same, we often say uniform.